Chapter 13 Civilization. Ever since the beginning of our species, our lives were dedicated to one and only one thing: the pursuit to find food. Along the way, collective learning helped us improve and allowed us to raise the complexity of human societies. However, collective learning was soon going to go into hyperspeed. There are two criteria that fuels collective learning: the population and the connectivity between it. This is so because a higher population means a higher number of potential innovators, and the connectivity between them allows for the easy spread of ideas to be improved upon. By 12,000 years ago, we pretty much recovered from the volcano and grew to around 6 to 8 million. Due to our hunter-gatherer lifestyle, that was the largest population the Earth could support. But then suddenly, agriculture emerged. And as usual, we don't know for sure why and how this happened. But this represented a monumental shift in our human activity. Before agriculture, hunter-gatherers, like any other animal, would adapt to fit into the environment. But now, for the first time ever, we adapted the environment to suit our needs. An act that has led us to one of today's biggest threats to life on Earth: global warming. Nonetheless, agriculture revolutionized the way we live because it freed us from the constant pursuit of food. Big History Lesson 5. We might never know what caused the first humans to plant the first seeds, but we know for a fact that for them to have been successful, they had to observe and understand the annual weather patterns. This skill of pattern recognition is genetically embedded deep into every one of us and has the potential to change all our lives. Observing the consumer patterns to predict the next big thing, or identifying the macroeconomic patterns to predict the stock market, or even simply recognizing daily habits and their effects can give valuable insight in adjusting the trajectory of our lives. All we must learn to do is observe. In a world increasing in complexity and speed, it is often very difficult to stop and reflect to see the numerous amounts of things that are just another one of those. If you master this simple innate skill, you greatly increase your odds of living a happy and successful life. Anyway, agriculture now allowed a small number of people to grow more than enough food for their entire tribe, allowing the rest to pursue other tasks as well as supporting a larger number of people. Here, collective learning gets its first boost. A higher number of potential innovators allowed new innovations to raise the carrying capacity of the community, thus increasing the number of potential innovators, and the feedback loop continued. Soon, large food stockpiles required protection. The armies required a place to stay. Someone needed to build those houses. And eventually states and the ancient civilizations emerged. This is also when the first hierarchies and class systems emerged, primarily to maintain a functioning and efficient society. Even though collective learning increased dramatically, the population predictably always increased faster than the innovations increased the capacity it could sustain. This has been a major problem throughout human history and is called the Malthusian cycle. Basically, it's when the population is allowed to grow incredibly fast due to some innovation, which quickly exceeds the sustainable capacity, and then some famine or disease corrects the population number. Today, even though our world may seem boring with our day-to-day mundane routines, it is without a shadow of a doubt the best possible time to be alive. Even the cheapest of medicine and other technologies are things that people even one lifetime ago didn't have. To quote one of our time's greatest thinkers, Yuval Harari, When conditions improve, expectations balloon. So unhappiness definitely exists. Nevertheless, mass dyings in the millions certainly do not happen today. But the question still stands. Has our speed of technological innovation broken us out of the Malthusian cycles, or are we just at the peak of another one?